Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Draft Day Sports College Basketball. This is episode number 37, Conference S, late season now. We're into tournament play, 22-7 overall. And just wanted to take a look at a few quick stats before we proceed with things with our 59th net ranking. As predicted, Mike Harris has been really weak at point guard. He's not given us much. Player impact estimate is quite low, so we're going to be heavily looking at that point guard position. But William Love having a great season, 14. Johnson, 15. Stetson doing enough. Right, he has not been amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but he's certainly doing what is necessary for the senior power forward this year. Ed Hold, he's been good. Wow, what a great pickup Holt was for us. He was that last one that we filled in. Best off the bench has been David Thomas so far this season. You can see Johnson at 15.9 points per game. That's one of the highest averages we've seen for any individual player for a long time, and he was our sixth man a year ago and provided us a lot of points off the bench. This year, with that starter role, has been the leading scorer for the team. And even though Harris has struggled, he is getting better than 5 assists a game. And we haven't had too many point guards that actually get that. Most of them have been in the low 4s range. So, getting over 5, that extra assist per game is certainly helping. But we still have, plenty of room for improvement at that position. But anyway, we are at least doing enough. In hopes that we are going to actually get to experience the March Madness tournament this year. There's obviously a very good chance of that one. We have gone forward straight to the conference championship game. So we're up against James Madison. Had a decent start to this one with the first 5 points scored and defending very well. They had multiple chances there and still could not score. And ultimately, we got ourselves to a 10-2 lead after that three-pointer just now. And yeah, that's how you want to start, right? That's the kind of start you want to get. William Love already on 6 points, probably with both of those three-pointers that we've had so far. It's 15-7 as we continue the trend. 19-7, starting to pull away, opening up a dozen-point lead and still having some momentum here. Just 6 minutes played thus far. Let's see. Foul trouble. Ed Hold does have one. Mr. I like to commit fouls. He's got 6 points, 3 of 3 shooting. Love 2 of 2 with 6 points. Johnson has 7 points on 3 of 4, so we are shooting extremely well here early on. 28-9 as we've nearly stretched it to 20 points, and we have not even played 10 minutes yet. Rebounds +2. We have 6 steals to their 1. That's the big difference. Turnovers is a +4 margin as a result. And field goal percentage, 78%. Down to 73 now. Oh no. 14 of 19. Wow, what a start there. And meanwhile, holding them at 31%. We've had almost an equal number of, and now we have 21 shot attempts each, and we have doubled their makes. That was actually a really clean moment there. 7 of 21, 14 of 21. They've made a third. We've only missed a third. Hence the 23-point lead here. I'm going to go ahead and speed things up for a little bit. Let's see if we are on cruise control towards a title this season. If this score gets down within about 10, then we'll resume things. Otherwise, I might be seeing you for a box score. What a performance by the team. Completely had that thing well under control. Second half was pretty quiet. We did not score anywhere near. Our shooting went down a lot in the second half. But, it was very comfortable. They never threatened. Love was just 1 for 5 from 3 in this game. He struggled to score. They did finally shut Ed Hold down after his tremendous start. He was approaching triple-double or quintuple double kind of numbers as he was going through. He had 3 steals, 3 blocks pretty early on. He had 5 assists pretty early on. and then second half added 1 assist and 1 block. But he already had the double double with 10 rebounds. He only ended up with 1 rebound in the last 14 minutes played, something along those lines, and no additional points. I mean, he just went quiet in the second half completely. So their tactics probably changed to, I don't know. I don't know what they changed to, but whatever the case may be, it was a very different second half than our first half. And with a little more bench time going on, we just didn't stretch that lead at all in the second half. But no concerns there because it was a very thorough beating, and conference championship, our third now. Not our best team that we've had, but enough to win the conference championship. So I'm guessing something along the lines of a 13 or 14 seed is where we'll probably come in at. Maybe a 12. But you only have a couple 12s that aren't the at large ones or the play in games, and so that does limit that number. Two brackets complete now. Into the third. Three brackets complete, so we're guaranteed to be in the fourth one. This is the Denver region. So Ohio State has the first seed in our region. Utah State is the 2 seed. Where do we come in at? We've already avoided the 15-16. There it is, 14. Told you 13-14 is what I expected. It's Memphis in the first round. That, of course, is going to be a huge, huge ask for us. We were labeled as potentially good enough to create the upset. That is a big step up, though. I mean, those first 4 seeds or so are really, really hard to knock off. After that, those 5, 6, 7, 8s, much easier to beat in the first round. But even if we do somehow knock off Memphis, Michigan State is a perennial powerhouse who their 19-11 record is probably a result of being Conference A or Conference B, and then just being upper mid-table in a Conference A or Conference B. It's a very good program. So, don't be deceived by a 19-11 record and a 6 seed. They're probably a really, really good program who's just off of the elite status this year, which we're not. So even if we do somehow surprise Memphis, I don't suspect we'll get much further. It's going to be a difficult tournament, but hey, we're in, and that's always a big thing. Speaking of Conference A, Memphis is Conference A with a net ranking of 11, 22-9, 11-5 on the season. Means they were probably, I'd say, like third place in Conference A. They are giving us a little bit of hope, but not much. 33% chance, considering it's against a 3 seed, considering it's against a Conference A opponent. That feels like pretty dang good odds that you'll take into that one going, gosh, I'm feeling confident that, we can hang in there and lose by less than 20. The amazing thing is we actually have a number of advantages, small forward, power forward, and center, and the bench, apparently, where it's the backcourt that is the problem. Obviously, Mike Harris, and we're talking about a massive, massive gap between their Claggett, who is their top scorer at 16.5 a game, versus our 3.5. So, 13-point deficit at the point guard matchup, a near 2-assist deficit at the point guard matchup, 4 rebound. We're going to be in a huge amount of trouble with Mike Harris versus Ryan Claggett, and I might have to check into this one and see if we want somebody else defending Claggett in this game to give us a bit of a better chance at coming out we do seem to have the definite post advantage, so that's good. They aren't that strong in the post, and they really don't grab a lot of rebounds either. That helps. That really helps. But of course, this is a Conference A team that just played 16 games in Conference A, winning 11 of them. So even though their stats aren't very padded, they're not Westbrook kind of stats. You don't have guys running triple doubles on the individual stat front, but they know how to win games, and that's something that Westbrook doesn't necessarily know how to do terribly well. All right, I do expect that there's going to be a pretty good gulf between the teams. I don't necessarily think we're going to be too close in this one, but we'll give it a shot. And to really give it a shot, we need to switch Love and Harris on defense, as Love is far, far better a defender than Harris and their main guy in Claggett. Problem with for us though is that Reed is actually pretty good as well, but we will run that switch. No double team at this point. Let's go ahead and take them man to man at this stage and see what that does for us. But so far, 2 minutes in, and we've held them to, well, level pegging. It was 4-4 a moment ago. Nice 3-pointer there to give us the early lead here. It's only by 1 point, but hey, we've got some momentum. We've started strong, and it's 10-7. Excited with how things have gone so far. Claggett's the one we obviously need to watch out for. He does have 2 assists, but has not scored yet. Reed is getting the attempts with him being defended primarily by our main man, and Claggett with Penders out there for his 2-minute stretch gets his first score, but that was from the free throw line. Johnson off to a strong start, 7 for him already. Thomas has 5 off the bench. I did make a couple of changes to the depth chart. I took a couple more minutes away from Harris, giving them to Love. We're going to push him to the limit. It's tournament time, right? You play your best players as much as you can to give yourself your best chance of winning, and we do have a lead here at the midway point of the first half. In fact, we're up in double-digit territory. It's 30-19. Also added about 4 minutes to Hold, who throughout the season was on limited minutes, partially for a couple reasons. One, he gets himself into foul trouble fairly frequently. Two, we wanted to get a combination of guys, our number 6 man for example, but also Myron Hammond, trying to get them some minutes, and so that was multiple reasons for that. Johnson has picked up 2 more minutes in the depth chart, so Hold increase of 4, Johnson increase of 2, Love increase of 2, Harris -2 on the depth chart, so we could see that play into our favor, and so far we are up 18 points right now with 3 minutes to play here in the first half. 20-point lead. It's 44-24. Wow. And Claggett just now getting his first field goal of the game, now 1 for 5. That is so awesome. They do have a little bit of momentum. Talk about a little bit of momentum. Our 20-point lead became 10 in about a minute. Where the heck is my timeout option? Thank you. Oy, little late on that one. We do at least carry into the halftime an 11-point advantage. I probably should have slowed that down a little bit more and tried to control things and not really allow them to get back into the game the way they started to there just before half. Thomas, 4 for 5 off the bench with 9 points. 5 for 7 for Johnson. Stetson's doing okay. Nobody else is scoring in loads. It's Johnson and Thomas for us. But wow, my oh my, what a performance there. Fouls. Holt has 2, so his minutes being limited from that. Points in the paint, +10. Second chance points, +4. Told you their post not grabbing a lot of rebounds, and so far for us, that's paying off really well. Also, we have a +4 in the fast break points, giving us a really solid advantage along there. Rebounds, Hold has 4. Thomas has 4. So center is where we're grabbing a lot of rebounds. 8 rebounds out of the center position. Wheel has 2 as well. So 10 from there. Stetson only 1 himself. But what about for them? Okay, their center does have 4. But we are definitely out-rebounding them big time. I don't know who their backup is. 12 for 25, 48% from the field, 17 for 28, 60% right now from the field for us. 4 for 6 from 3, while they are 5 for 14. Those three-pointers are what got them back in that game so quickly. Free throws, 18 attempts to 11, but we are shooting terribly. 13 turnovers, but they have 19 in one half. That is terrible. That is a very defensive game. We have 15 steals right now. 15. Love has 4. Harris has 3. But Love, I think, is the one who's really setting that up. He's putting really good pressure on that ball. Switching him defensively has worked out brilliantly for us so far. Claggett, just 3 assists and 8 turnovers. There it is. There is our protagonist and antagonist situation where Love is absolutely tearing it up. Even though he's only got 3 points, his defensive pressure is giving Claggett a nightmare. 1 for 6 from the field, just 3 assists and 8 turnovers for their star player. Second half underway. We're going to take second half a bit slower as we do get a quick start here with the field goal. Be nice if it gives me the option to, there we go, slow it down just a little bit. All right, this is our defensive end here, and putting them to the line allows them to get back within double digits, back within 10, but then we score that 3-pointer. Was that Love? Love's second field goal, it was. Love doubled his scoring total. Yeah. And Harris with the assist on that one. And we're out to a 16-point lead here early in the second half. Stretching. Could it be? Is the upset on? Claggett. You could tell that they are trying to get Claggett going here in the second half, as he's had 3 field goal attempts already, but Love continues to shut him down. Now, in terms of all those added minutes, most of it was second half. I think other than 2 minutes for Hold in the first and 2 in the second, the extra minutes for Love, the extra minutes for Johnson, all second half. They're all slated to have a 2-minute break, and that's it. I think Hold, maybe it was a 4-minute break in the second half, but it's mostly second half additions, and this is what we're into. We're up to a 20-point lead right now. It's 64-44. We've stretched that lead back out, and yes, things are going really well right now. 13 to play right now. Time is our biggest enemy at the moment. If we can avoid them from gaining too much momentum, which at the moment they were doing so, but we answer with a very important bucket there. Fouls right now. This is one way for them to get back in. It's 5-0 in the fouls department, as they just now had their first one. It looked like it was a loose ball foul on the rebound, maybe an over-the-back type situation where they scored that one. 66-48, though, 18-point lead. You don't mind seeing that over the last 3 minutes. 1 field goal only. And momentum in our favor, but a missed field goal there ended whatever momentum we had. 6th foul, 7th foul, 2 fouls on that possession, and we are already putting them into the bonus. But we come down and answer with Stetson on the layup. 3-pointer though. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Oy, come on, I said let's talk about it, and instead we get called for a turnover, and they don't give me the timeout. Thanks, refs. We get it back to 15 though, as we do score at this end. 72-55 now, and we have some momentum, so let's not stop to talk about it. But it would have been nice if they would have given me that timeout that I had called for when I had called for it. Fortunately, we answered. They answer with a 3, cutting that lead back down yet again, but we are maintaining a fair bit of momentum here with 6.5 to play. Let's slow it down some more. 15-point lead. Momentum is gone, but they don't have it. And that's the key here, though we cannot score on that occasion. And they do answer, but not enough to build momentum yet. So let's hold off at the moment. Stetson with the field goal, 78-61, 5 to play. Okay, still not a momentum builder. Just got to watch that momentum. The moment they have some, we're going to take timeout. But that field goal there stretches it back to 17. That was again Stetson. Stetson now on 19 points for Stetson. Holy cow, where did that come from? He is on fire here in this second half. Hold just 6 points. 3 of 5, but it's the Stetson show. Are we going to Texas? Are we going to don our Stetsons? 80-68, and they have momentum. Timeout. 3 minutes to play. 12-point advantage. It's not insurmountable yet, but it's getting there. And we killed their momentum with that timeout, and then we've got it back with the defensive stop here. 2.5 to play, but we cannot score. They get it to within 10 minutes to play, and that one score. We fouled them on the 3. Use your last 30-second timeout. Talk about it. Kill that momentum off. 7 to play. 1.5 to go. They are doing everything in their power to get back in, but we force the turnover there. We get the steal. I would presume that that's what that was. 80-73, missing the three-pointer, giving them another chance. 1 minute to play, but the defensive stop again. Eric Johnson. 44 seconds. They're not using the timeouts. Now they do, and put Stetson on the line, who now gets 21 points. Johnson, who has gone quiet, has 18. 30 seconds to play. We get the lead back to 9 after they had scored. 22 seconds. They're out of time. We're going to move on, folks. We are going to get out of this round. 84-75. That's it. We get the steal. Game over. We're through. We just knocked off the Conference A number 11 seed. Number 11 team in the nation. Number 3 seed Memphis. Not Grizzlies. That's the NBA team. Oh gosh, what is the mascot? Memphis Tigers. There you go. Memphis Tigers. I have not changed it from the Memphis Lions that they're labeled as. 84-75. Claggett did end up with 17 points, but only made 5 field goals out of 16. He was, 1 for 10 at one point? He went 4 for 6 down the stretch. So he did wake up. But we kept him cool long enough. Just 4 assists. He only added 1 more assist the rest of the way. We, in the end, didn't shut him down, and I think that's because he got to the free throw line. He built some momentum by getting to the free throw line. And that was that second half where we got in trouble. We had those 7 fouls early on, and that got them back into the game. But in the end, we win by 9 points, so hell yeah. Yeah, fast break went from an advantage to a disadvantage by the end of the game. They scored some fast break buckets on us. Second half, they got some second chance points in the second half, closing that gap, but the points in the paint continued to be our area of dominance. Surprised that it wasn't Hold and that it was Stetson in the end who really, really turned it on. But that is fantastic. Stetson stepping up. Huge player. Huge game for the player, that is. And we end up at 58% from the field to their 46. I mean, defense was good but not great. We held them. 75 is still a fair bit. 37 in the first, 38 in the second. We really went on a tear there in the first half, though. 24 rebounds to 20, so we were +4 in that department. +5 in assists. +5 in steals. Even on blocks. Turnovers, 5 to the good for us. It was the fouls that got us in a bit of trouble there in the second half as things really tightened up. We actually did commit 2 fewer fouls overall in the game, but that was what allowed them to squeak their way back in. But you can see we actually only lost 2 points of our advantage across the course of the second half. But that was mostly because we stretched that lead early in the second half, got back out to that 20-point advantage, and then they closed that down the stretch. Crockram, 7 for 8 from free throw. Claggett, 7 for 9. So while we shut him down 0 for 7 from 3, Reed was 0 for 5, 0 for 6 from the field, even though he was being guarded by Harris for much of that game. That really saved us. 0 for 12 from the backcourt pairing. But yeah, the free throw part, that was the worry part. They got to the line a lot, but 10 turnovers for Claggett in that game. It was a much better second half for him. He only had 2 turnovers, and he scored a lot. He scored in bunches in that second half, but it was mostly from free throws and no threes. Oh, okay, well, to the second round, but again, likely matchup with Michigan State, who is going to be very close to a Memphis. After beating East Carolina 87-79, it is Michigan State who we are poised to go up against. New Mexico was beaten by Georgetown, so Utah State, Georgetown are the other potential matchup in the next round. Yeah, good luck to us getting past not one but 2 difficult opponents. Getting past 1 is a big surprise. Getting past 2, I think, is the odds are very much not in our favor on that part. As expected, Michigan State, Conference A. They were just 8-8, so they're not quite the Memphis. Instead of being the maybe 3rd place team that Memphis was, Michigan State is probably your 4th or 5th place team in the conference. So just a notch below where they're at. We do have apparently an advantage at power forward, even at center, even though we have hold, so that's scary. No advantage at point guard, though. You look at the stats between the two, and their guy does seem to be probably a little bit better, but not by much. But for them to have advantages as shooting guard and small forward says a lot about the quality of those guys, considering that it's Love and Johnson that they are matched up with there, and same with their center. That's pretty talented. In terms of comparison head to head, they like us more than they liked us against Memphis. 6% better. All right, we're already getting pretty far down there in terms of minutes, so we're going to try to speed things up. Green versus green, not the easiest. We are in the lighter green, where they have more your dark forest green colors in this one. So that's what to watch out for. White font for them. All right. Well, anyway, close contest early on, just 1-point game at the moment. Hold with 3, Love with 2, both making their first field goals. Just 1 rebound for Hold so far, and they have a few already. Hope with 5 points. We'll have to keep an eye out on matchups and see if we want to make some changes. Again, their point guard was not drastically better than Mike Harris, so we might still be okay. Depth chart unchanged from last game, so we are still pushing to keep those minutes higher for our better players, and that could help us out along the way. Penders off the bench already with a 3-pointer. He's got a few points. Johnson has 3 rebounds already. He's got more rebounds than points at this stage. We do have a slender lead right now, 14-11. Nearly a half played, and we've got the momentum. We added another field goal to it, and we've got a 5-point lead, our largest of the game. Could not convert there, where it looked like a perfect opportunity to get an easy layup after the offensive rebound saw us underneath the defense. A little back and forth at the moment, though. Quickly through this first half. Fouls 3 apiece right now, so neither team facing any foul trouble right now, and our 3 fouls are spread out. Love has 1, Love has 1, I think Harris has 1. Fall now has 1, our 4th foul, but somebody on the bench has 1 as well. 25-18, starting to pull out a little bit of a lead here. We have a championship caliber team. Very funny, but we are playing really well. This is pretty surprising, especially considering Mike Harris and considering we've definitely lost some games this season. It's not like we've been, it's not like we're 28-3 or something. I mean, we've barely exceeded 20 wins this year. And to be coming into this and being up 13, 16, 18 with 2 minutes to play in the half, as we just went on a very, very quick run with back-to-back-to-back buckets. I don't know exactly what the point tally was there, but it was something along the lines of a 7-0 run or an 8-0 run just in that moment. But they have built themselves up a little momentum here just before the half, and they get another couple free throws there. 44-30 at the half, though. Hold with the buzzer beater. That helped get back a little bit. Points in the paint, 18-2. Woo! Fast break, 6-0. Second chance points, 4-2. Holds 5 for 6. Johnson's 4 for 8. Love is 3 for 6. All three of them approaching double digits. Stetson has 6 as well. So all those key guys getting the scoring, and Harris hasn't even had an attempt and just the 1 assist, but only 1 turnover. Only 10 minutes played because he's the one in foul trouble. And if you got to have somebody in foul trouble, I'm perfectly content with it being him, because he's obviously the weak link out there anyway. It's the trying to run offense without him that becomes a little bit harder. And I've certainly had that situation as a coach where I definitely had a team one year where point guard was the weakest position for us, and I had plenty of talent otherwise, but without that point guard and without somebody else capable of running the offense very well, you struggle. You really struggle to score, even though you have guys very capable of scoring themselves. But it's hard when you can't get the ball in the right place and under the right circumstances to create chances. And a point guard handles so much of that. Hold with 7 rebounds already here in the first half, looking really good for another double-double. Had a good half. 11 turnovers for us, just 10 for them actually, so we're not even ahead in that department. Fouls, that's a concern. Where it was just 3, we ended up at 11, and they ended up also at 3, but they ended up at 5. So things really changed in the final minutes of that first half. Free throws, 23 attempts for them already to our 8. Jeez, that's what's keeping them in this game. They're 5 for 27 from the field and only down by 14. That's scary. That's scary. That is crazy scary. We might be dominating in some respects, but they just shot the worst game of their lives, and they're only down 14, worst half of their lives, and they come out in the second half and immediately score. And we've already committed 2 fouls in the half. Already thinking about a timeout. We score. We take the momentum away, and we get a back-to-back with a three-pointer there. That was Johnson with that 3. He's got 16 now, but 10-point game. Just like that. Timeout. They got another 3. We do come out of the timeout with the 2-pointer. We got to slow down. Just like that. 4-point game. Just like that. I told you. That was the scary part. They weren't making shots. They just weren't making shots. Our defense really held them. But you're not going to hold a team like Michigan State like that for 2 halves. Back out to an 11-point game, though. So we've started to do a little something from that timeout. We've really come out the right end here, but Holt 16. Johnson has 19 now. They're both piling on some blocks, some steals, but the foul trouble. Love has 3. That's one to watch out for sure. 10-point game, 12 to play. We certainly stabilized the situation, but it's so easy for them to get back. Johnson, now 21 points, 8 of 16 for him. Single-handedly carrying us at the moment anyway. Missing that 3, but getting the offensive rebound, then the turnover. 6-point game now. Fouled. Oh my gosh, they committed 1 foul. They've had 3 fouls in the last 25 minutes of play or something like that. Holding a 9-point lead right now. No, now it's 6 as they just got a 3-pointer on that. Where did that 3-pointer come from? I thought it was a turnover. I didn't see a shot. I missed the animation on that one. 6-point game. At least we've shut them down, but we have not scored in our last couple of possessions until we finally get that field goal. That was William Love. And we actually got to shoot a couple free throws. Fouls now at 4-3. We have settled down. Things are not going crazy. We're down to 6 minutes and a 7-point advantage. They have the momentum. We might want to use a timeout, especially if they score here. And, of course, the fouls. Use that last 30-second timeout. We only have 1 full remaining with 5 minutes to play. So it's a difficult time to want to, you're tempted. We're down to a 2-point game and losing the ball. And they're getting the chances. They're getting the second chances. And they're getting the free throws again. Everything is going against us on the calls right now. The referees. Play style is a huge part of this, but it is so frustrating that we were so clean and then all of a sudden foul, 20 free throw attempts, nothing happening on the other side. 4-point game, 2-point game. I don't think we're going to win. I really don't think we're going to win this because I don't have the timeouts to use. We are in just tons of foul trouble across the board. Hold has 3, Love has 3. I mean, at least our key guys are not on the verge of fouling out or anything. Harris is not out there, so he might be on 4 or 5 fouls right now, but it's a tie game with 3 minutes to play. And it's been all Michigan State and refs at their back for a while now. We get a stop and then they go to the free throw line. We get a stop and then they go to the free throw line. We don't stop them, they score. Huge 3-pointer from William Love. It's not over yet, but it's not looking good right now with 2:20 to play. They step inside. We actually get a stop and no foul called. Ed Hold gets the rebound, but then we miss the 3 at the other end. That would have been a huge momentum swing. We get the stop, but no, what happens? The refs call foul. They go to the free throw line, score both free throws, cut it to 1. David Thomas off the bench here. That was his first field goal of the game. 81-80, minute to play. Slow down some more here. What's going on? I still have that 1 timeout remaining. They actually fouled us for a change. Was it a 1-1? We're not in the bonus. I'm not sure how we had what looked like just 1 free throw attempt, but maybe we just missed both. 84-82 now as they score there. 46 seconds left. Time is almost up. 36 seconds. No timeout at the moment, or do we want to? 13 seconds left on the clock. Full timeout. 12 seconds. Draw something up. Come on. This is where we need the score. We get fouled. Eric Johnson goes to the free throw line, makes the first, misses the second, but it's a 3-point game with 20 seconds remaining. Johnson with the steal. They foul us, and we miss both, but they miss the tying 3-pointer. Are you kidding me? We have pulled off the win. We are into the Sweet 16, 85-82. That 3-pointer from Love, or was that Johnson? I think it was Love who made that 3. Massive, absolutely massive from that tie game perspective. And then we finally actually get some free throws, primarily because it was intentional fouls with a slender lead. But wow. Hold with the double-double. He did get there. He had 5 rebounds in the second half to add to the 7 he had in the first. But he had some help. Johnson had 7. Stetson had 7. Double digits from all 4 of those guys. Harris Only 3 fouls, but only 3 points and only 1 assist. Terrible game from him. Those 3 fouls came very early. It did limit his minutes, but he was super quiet tonight and spent a lot of time on the bench. Rebounds, +7. Turnovers, -4. Field goal. They really turned it around in the second half, but it still ended up only 38% from the game and is the decisive factor here. Free throws, 36 attempts to 19. I don't know if I've ever seen 36 attempts in one game. I've seen 30 plus, but I'm not sure if I've seen 36. I've seen it a time or two, but that was just insane. How many? 10 for 25 from 3, though. I think that's the other decisive point for us. Just 11 of 19 from free throws. Had quite a few of those, 5-6 attempts coming right there in the last minute or two of the game when they needed a stop, when they needed the clock to stop. One key thing that I see here is you have a starting lineup that did okay. I mean, 6 for 15 for Hope isn't great, but 7 for 9 from free throw, it's 23 points, right? He missed a few too many shots. However, the real tell here is the bench. 1 for 11, 2 for 8 from their primary scorers off the bench. Outside of the free throws, which they got a lot. My bench, not one attempt. Their bench had 13 points from the line on 17 attempts. We had 0. 4-0. We won the bench battle and yet didn't. Weird collection of stats there, but really stands out. Regardless, we are on to the Sweet 16, and I am totally out of time for this episode. So, next round, I mean, what's going to stop us now, right? If we've already beaten 2 Conference A elite performers, we're capable of beating anybody, you would think, especially with the first half, the way we played in both of these games. I still don't think that's possible. The odds, grow against us further and further round by round, but come on, Sweet 16. Yeah, here we go. Anyway, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so already, especially by this point. We're 37 episodes into this series. We are deep into 2 tournaments now. We've got 3 conference titles, and we are flying up the ladder at the moment. If you're still here and you still haven't hit subscribe, what's holding you up? I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.